Good morning, folks. I'm Dale Nesbary, President of Muskegon Community College, with my colleagues.
John Selman, Provost and Executive Vice President.
And I'm Kelly Conrad, Vice President of Academic Affairs.
So we were ordered to this room to find some information for you about the coronavirus and what we were doing as an institution to resolve some of the issues that are coming up. So we have a series of questions here that we're going to roll through and hopefully help you understand where we are as an institution. But by way of background, this has been going on for us for actually a couple months. We've been tracking COVID-19. And more recently, we've, as an institution, had a board retreat, I'd say three weeks ago or so, where the board discussed our strategy with us. And more recently, we've been ramping up under the eventuality that we would need to transfer to online courses and online delivery, I should say, distance learning. We're just one of any number of colleges that have taken this action, and we're just doing what we can to support our students and make sure they're safe and healthy, as well as our community. So, colleagues, anything else to add here? Am I covering it?
Go ahead.
So from the academic side, what I will say is we made the decision yesterday after a lot of deliberation, gathering information from lots of other colleges and listening to the governor of Michigan speak. And we determined that we would suspend our face-to-face classes. So we are not canceling classes, we are not canceling online learning, we are suspending face-to-face classes until next week. And then faculty will be contacting the students in their classrooms or via email, via Blackboard, to talk about how they will continue in a non-face-to-face environment to continue to keep learning throughout the rest of the semester. And we will, it's a moving situation. So faculty are getting skilled up in how they can deliver knowledge in different formats, how we might be able to help students through this period, and people are being very supportive of the students and of each other as we try to make the transition.
The main thing is that we get questions about hours of operation. Our campuses are open, and our support services are still in place. Students can still get tutoring, they can still get counseling. They can call the campus or Google and then get us at Muskegon Community College online there. But the main thing is that you can still call campus and get counseling, tutoring support, and you can do it online, or you can come face to face. You can call us at 231-773-9131, and we'll get you connected to the appropriate services that you need. So, but we're still open. Hours of operation are still functioning. The other piece is about the Lakeshore Fitness Center. That center is open, and the regular hours that it's been open has been Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 9 p.m. and Friday 5:30 to 8, Saturday 6 to 5, and Sunday noon to 5. And so the facility is open and available, but we're doing the appropriate things we need to do to make sure that we're safe in terms of sanitizing the equipment as we use it. So,
thanks, Dr. Solomon. Thanks, VP Conrad. One of the questions that we've received from students is about the quality and the robustness of our online the course delivery or distance education delivery. And while we're ramping up some of what we're doing, online courses have been offered by this college for years. I mean, myself, I taught an online course, which according to my buddy at Oakland University, a business professor, I was a political science professor, in 1997. So fully online course. So this course delivery modality does not start very recently, and for the college, we've been doing this for some time. And I would gather that I'll ask VP Conrad. Most of our courses have some online or some distance education component at any rate. So the transition for most classes should not be difficult. And I'll also add, as a former professor, most students, when they move into online classes, they look at those and they think that somehow those are going to be more simple than brick and mortar face-to-face classes, and they find out that the amount of work that they have to do is in nearly every case equal to or more than that. So VP Conrad, add a little bit to that.
So one of the things that when we sent the message to our faculty that we were suspending in-person classes is we talked about thinking about remote learning rather than strictly online delivery. And some of the things that we talked to them about is faculty can still meet with students on a one-on-one basis at the college. They can email students, they can take conference calls. We do have Blackboard as a very solid learning management system that hosts our online classes, and it has some other new features that faculty can use to engage the students. Some of the things we're wrestling with right now, and it's an ongoing discussion we're having as the situation changes, but students who are in art classes or welding classes or biology labs where they really do need some of the materials that we have or some of the machinery we have, we are gathering information from the faculty, and we'll be sending out some guidance to faculty, hopefully by the end of the day, but certainly by Monday, about how we might be able to do that. It might involve students coming for some open labs, but not having face-to-face class instruction, limiting the number of students who can be in a place at any one time, so that we are still keeping our students safe.
We are canceling large public events, and you can find the information out on our website, about all the things that we're doing, updates, and important information that relates to the virus and other things related to the college. But our website is the place where you can find out ongoing information and updates. So we would ask that you go visit our website, because we'll try to keep you up to date daily. And again, we're canceling large public events, and we'll contact those individuals that are involved in those events to make sure they know.
There has been some concern about students who maybe don't have internet available to them at their homes, or maybe they don't have computers. And we want students to know that we will be open on campus. We have computers in our library. We have some different computer labs. We will also be open at our Ottawa Center in Grand Haven and at NC RISA in Fremont with computer labs, so that students may come in and access computers and access internet, online learning, email through those. I would just ask that students call before they go to those places, just to double check the hours before they go. But we really do want to accommodate students who might not have that kind of access from home.
Sure. And one of the things I wanted to cover as well is some more information about logistics on campus and off campus, big picture issues. And what are we doing as an institution to work with other institutions out there? So to give you an example, on Tuesday or Wednesday evening, myself, President Bill Pink of Grand Rapids Community College, and 3 members of the Ottawa County ISD Superintendents Group, meaning 3 superintendents from Ottawa County, were there, as well as probably 30 school board members, where we had a discussion about any number of issues, including the COVID-19 virus. The 2-hour meeting, it was, I think, well attended. Vice President Conrad was there, and that was a topic that wasn't originally on the agenda, but it became a part of what we were discussing either before or after the meeting. On, I'll call it Wednesday, the community college presidents, who were actually having a discussion at 11 o'clock through 1 o'clock this afternoon. Also, most of us were on a call with the governor, and actually the governor, not her staff, but the governor herself, about how we were going to approach this issue, again, from a logistics perspective. How were we going to push out information about what we were doing, who was going to do it, how were we going to do it. And during the weeks before that, conversations with the community college presidents and trustees took place. We all sit on boards in the community. I sit on a statewide board for the Trinity Health System, which has 23,000 employees. And we were discussing, actually in early January, once this became clear that this virus was going to move forward and become an issue, we were ramping up at that point for 23,000 employees in the state of Michigan and thousands more across the country. So because of our relationships with other institutions, either individually or organizationally, we don't just meet with our students, we just don't meet with our faculty or staff. and our board, we have conversations with a broader set of community constituents, and we do our best to make sure that everyone's aware of what we're doing. So I'm being told that I should speak louder. This is a Facebook Live, and they don't want me to talk to them in the back of the Facebook Live there, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'll raise my voice a little bit, and I'll turn it over to my colleagues again. But I just want to make that point about this is not just the college. It's just it's a statewide, countrywide, and really international issue, that, as you may well know.
I can talk about a few more specifics.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're jumping around a little bit, but I think that's okay. We've been asked about the clinicals for our nursing students and our respiratory therapy students, and will those still take place? That is a very fluid situation. The hospitals are determining how many students they can allow in, given supplies, given space, given just the conditions. And so we take some of our lead from the hospitals. We will continue to do clinicals as long as we're allowed in the space. For students who are not well, certainly they should not come to school, they should not go to clinicals. Students who feel they cannot participate in those clinicals should definitely talk with their instructors about their concerns. Our medical assisting program will still continue with their lab work and their practicals, because they are a very small group and they're on a very set course. So we're trying to take students' individual needs into consideration while still keeping the underlying reason for why we're doing what we're doing in mind, which is to slow down this spread of the virus.
The other piece is our safety concerns, to thoroughly and frequently wash your hands. We're suggesting that our staff and students and others do that as well. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Disinfect your workspace, phones, and avoid shaking hands and hugging people. And we are suggesting to everybody to stay home if you are sick.
And that's very important. It's funny. So as I was noting before, we all have different relationships out there. And one of the things that I do is I'm a professional trombonist besides being a college president. And one of the organizations I play with is the Shoreline Community Orchestra. And there was an email from the coordinator of that orchestra, which actually rehearses here on campus, about what we're going to do. And the way the email was written, I thought was instructive for our students really when on campus. Sometimes if you're a professional in the real world, life intervenes. And so instead of having, say, 5 or 6 rehearsals prior to our next performance, we'll probably have 2, maybe 3. But that's how the real world works. You're still going to be expected to do the job and find a way to get it done. And that's one of the things we want everyone to keep in mind. This is a real world environment. We have 7,000 students, 94, 95 full-time faculty, 200 and some adjuncts, maybe 150 operating administrative staff on campus. So we all have to do our things, live our lives to the best we can, but be aware that life will move forward, and we'll come out of this bigger and better.
There are a lot of athletic events being canceled, from March Madness into our NBA professional teams. Here at Muskegon Community College, our basketball team, men's basketball team, qualified for the national tournament in JCA tournament, and that's been postponed for a month. So we're a month away, but it looks like our men may be able to get to still play for the national championship. So just wanted folks to know that too.
That's great news. VP Conrad, anything else that we are missing?
I think what I would say is we have a website. We have a page on our website devoted to updates on this situation. And if people have questions, that's where they will find the most current information. We can say things here today that might change by Monday. So that's where we will keep a public-facing page,
yes, indeed.
Along with just our email communications to faculty, staff, and students as we feel necessary.
In fact, Kelly, you and John and I believe myself, we're all meeting with our faculty members Is that our 11 o'clock today?
Yes,
Oh,
11
that's
o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So the 1 o'clock is my meeting with the college presidents, but we're constantly trying to make sure that this moves forward and works well. As I said, we expect it to work well. We've been doing this, we didn't just start doing this yesterday, we've been
Yeah.
doing this for years, so we'll make sure that our online delivery and distance education delivery is as high quality and effective as it possibly can be.
And the other thing is that we have a task force that's working with this situation on a daily, hourly basis. We want you all to know that we care about your health and safety of this college community as well as the overall community. We'll continue to monitor this situation, and we'll continue to take direction from health officials as we move through this situation.
So as I mentioned, things change day to day. They just change moment to moment.
Uh-oh.
I just got a text message from our dean that oversees our external sites, and NC RISA, our site up in Fremont, is closed for the next 3 weeks due to the K-12 school closings. So there will not be computer labs there accessible for our students. So those students are certainly invited to come down to campus should they need to use our computer labs here.
In fact, so I thought I was going to get the same email that Kelly Conrad got, but it's a different email from the Boys and Girls Club, where they're closing down some efforts that they have in place until doesn't really say in this text, but yeah, things are hopping.
So be safe.
Watch your hands.
Yes, indeed. and thanks to Christina Broughton and Pete Crisno for organizing this. This is very helpful. Help us get information out there, and hopefully we spoke loudly enough. We were helpful enough in this Facebook Live experience. So thank you very much, folks.